So, awards and accomplishments as a salesperson. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I have a lot of awards and accomplishments for different jobs that I've done. The best award that I've ever gotten is a giant check. I really got started in sales in middle school, where they have those sales where you're doing candy or product or whatever for the school, and I just busted butt. I'd get out of school and I would go selling until it was dark, and then all weekend because I wanted to win that brand new BMX. That year they changed it to a lottery system and I didn't get the BMX, even though I was top salesman. I worked then at the Renaissance Fair at a fish and chips booth where I learned about hawking. I became an extrovert because before this I was pretty much an introvert, and I learned self-confidence. I moved on to manage my own Greek food booth at the Renaissance Fair, where I learned about guerrilla marketing, earning tips, and that year, through the techniques that I used, I increased the revenue 500% at that booth. Yes, ma'am?
What is hawking and guerrilla marketing?
Hawking. Come to the top of the hill to fry us fish and chips, the best food in the whole Shire. That's right, lords and ladies, step right up. You come on to me. That's hawking. Guerrilla marketing is doing things most people don't do. Anyone see the video I did at the parade just this last week, the Iowa City Pride Parade, to yell out to that woman?
Yes.
That worked. Let's see, about IG. Anyway, the information, I took a few years off, went to technology, moved to New Orleans, did all kinds of crazy happiness stuff, and then I got back into sales. And I learned at Information Architecture Group, I was an account executive, and I was talking to vice presidents of Southwest Airlines, Bank of America, project managers from Northrop Grumman. I had a $1.2 million quota, and I had to learn how to get past the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is a secretary whose whole job is to say, they're not available, can I take a message, please? You need to get past that gatekeeper. So I learned how to do that and how to talk to the executives. The sales path on that was 3 to 9 months just to get to the right person, to get my district sales manager to get a visit for a big project, anywhere from $20,000 to $5 million sales. Then, that was the bubble burst, it was 2000, so I took a first sales job that came along, and the Warranty Gold was that job. Warranty Gold is a third-party auto warranty company. I learned about call to action because I went from having my own office and talking to these high-level people to grandma and grandpa calling in because they wanted to get an extended warranty before extended warranties were common. And price could be $1,200 is where we would start trying to sell it, but we had a bottom value of $400, and we got extra cream there, however high we could keep that number pushed. So I learned about call to action, make the sale happen right now, and I learned about higher authority, appeal to higher authority, which is they're about to hang up. But my manager's sitting right up. You know what? My manager's actually flagging me down. I think we have a manager special going on. Can you just 1 second? I think we can save you some money. Just 1 second. If I can get you down an extra maybe $50, $100, would that make you buy today? Okay, hang on 1 second. Boom. Don't care who it is. Could be my manager, could be the guy who's sitting beside of me, could be the janitor. They're now the manager. And where do we need to go to get that close? Okay, in this situation, I sold 112 and a half contracts in my first month there. That doesn't sound all that impressive until you hear about the next guy down, who sold 78, and he'd been there for 3 years. So I sold 144% of what their top salesman did, and I came out with quite a nice check, and I did not match the quality of that check until I got into balloons. I decided I wanted to get in business for myself. I don't like bureaucracy. So I did a startup of my own sign company. A buddy of mine called me up and said, hey, I know you're looking for something to sell, and I'm going to get out of this sign stuff. If you want to take it over, I'll give it to you and teach you. So he gave me 8 hours of instruction. I went down took it from Pittsburgh to Austin, and I became a sign guy. And I went out for 3 weeks, door-to-door sales. I learned about door-to-door sales going to small businesses, and they asked him, hey, do you have any sign needs? And out of that 3 weeks of door-to-door sales, I discovered about $10,000 of business, which became a 10-year residual. I never went back to sales for the sign company. It was just something I had on the side because I found some other things that I was more interested in. But lasted for 10 years, $5,000 to $20,000 per year, depending on what their needs were of the people that I'd already talked to. Something else came along that was interesting here. I did learn about large office building door-to-door sales. In other words, now you're literally walking past the secretary. If the secretary is busy or not there, you go down the hallway as long as you can until you get to the back corner office where they got the nice window that overlooks the trees, because that's where the CEO, the COO, the CFO is sitting. And that is where you make your biggest sales, because you walk in, you're like, hey, and they think that you're supposed to be there because clearly the secretary okayed it. So they talk to you, and then you can pitch them, and instead of selling a couple of tickets, you're selling 10, 20 sheets of tickets, which is a good day. So then a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, I want to start this, I want to turn my hobby martial arts school into a professional, commercial martial arts school. At the time when I joined and bought in, it was making about $12,000 a year. I took it over 8 years later and turned it from 70, come on in, what you need, there you go, 70 to $100,000. And then my wife says, you know what, I got a job in Iowa City, so we're gonna move. And I said, okay, we'll do that, and I'll do balloons. So